Yes, guys! Welcome back to another episode of the Bootcast podcast. As always, I am your host, Justin. I am here, as always, with my fellow co-host and Colby. As always, as I ask you, how are you doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Got to see some family for Thanksgiving break.
Very nice.
Pawned the kids off to my mom, and I got to make a few reels, which was cool.
I was gonna say let's just jump right into it today. You finally banged out some content. I saw 2 videos.
Yeah,
in like
I think
3
I had
days. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think I had 3 in 3 days, dude. Well, that's what.
Who are you?
When I had that third kid, it just sunk the Titanic, dude. Like that was the iceberg. Like my third child was just like, nope, like
It's hard.
it's over.
It's hard.
Yeah,
it's Jover.
Yeah. So when I got to go, to my mom's house, and I was like, here are all my children, like love on them, and I'm gonna go hang out with my brother and make some videos. And that was awesome.
That's great. Yeah, man. So how are the Beckhams? How are they treating you, man? They're looking nice up there. You actually wore them, I think. I
actually wore them. I was messing around with my brother. We were playing. So my mom has this really nice field next to her house. They're really nice, man. Like if I can say anything about these, it's like they almost have this old school feel to them, where they're just like you're the car guy, right? Like you always have these car analogies on the podcast, and I'm gonna go ahead and put one out here. Is that like the regular Pred to me? Like the Hybrid Touch 2.0, it almost feels like it's kind of like a muscle car. It's like sleek. It's really like close to your foot. And it's almost like an SUV, dude. It's just a comfy ride. Like there's a lot of room in here. And at first I was thinking it was just around the toe box area, but it's really the entire boot.
Okay.
Like it's really like a nice feel. The only issues I've had with it so far, ironically, I went back and watched the Unisport video. But on my left shoe, I'm having some more heel slippage than I'd like. When I went back and watched the Unisport video, J Mike had the same problem on the same side, where he said that on his left boot, like the opening was a little bit wider.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's the issue I'm having, but I don't know if you can tell any difference there.
Yeah, you can.
Is there?
Yeah. I mean, it looks like not crazy. It looks like you could probably band them maybe back in and kind of warp up the shape a little bit, but it might just be one of those characteristics that it's like kind of got a deal, man.
Yeah, and it's not enough to honestly break like the amazing feeling that are these boots, because they really do feel great. Mm-hmm. But I went to I was asking James, because he's like the grip socks expert, and he was telling me to grab some Apex socks. So I went. They had a Black Friday sale, so I have 3 Apex socks coming my way.
Very cool.
This week.
Very nice. See, I liked your analogy, but I would just tweaked it a little bit. As I would say that the regular Pred is like a SUV. Like it's built for a purpose. It's a workhorse. Like, it's got some good features and some comfort, but it's like there to be like we're here for a job. And then the Rotero / the Beckhams is like a minivan. It's got all this nice room, but it's plush. It's luxurious. Like we're here, we're comfy, we're cruising, and we're looking good.
This is why you are like the car analogy.
Thanks,
man.
I love it. I love it. I love that you're loving the boots. It is a bummer that you're having like kind of an issue, but it's kind of like one of those where I'm going to be like, Colby, that's a first world problem right there.
Right.
That's a first world boot problem. Like you just need to suck it up, and you need to love those boots. And that's it,
dude. Yeah, they're super nice, man. Like one of the nicest boots I've owned.
Oh yeah. Would you? Okay, here's a question. Would you take them over? Let's say like you have 2 brand new pairs. Would you take them over a Legend 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Would you take them over a Legend 5?
No.
Oh man.
No. I would take a Legend 5. I would take another pair of Legend 5. I would take a new pair of Legend 5.
Smelly. All right, Colby. So let's talk about something that's not smelly. What is your jersey pick for this week's episode?
This week I went for there's a story behind this, but I went for the 2012-2013 Bolton Wanderers home kits.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and this is the year they switched, because they used to have these kind of like very retro looking Reebok kit. I think they were like the last holdout for Reebok. Like, so the reason I picked Bolton actually is because I used to be a huge fan of, I still am, I guess, of Stuart Holden when he was playing for them.
Okay.
And the EPL, because like back in the day, it was like he played in the EPL, Clint Dempsey played in the EPL. But he was doing very well until your guy, who was it, Johnny Evans, just freaking broke his leg. And it was a horrific tackle. But like the guy has had such bad luck of like injuries.
Okay.
That I want to say he broke his leg in an international game, and then he broke it again through Evans. Then I think he tore his ACL or something in another international game. So I was like, whatever happened to that guy? So I know he did stuff with ESPN FC, and he does stuff with like he'll do some USA commentary. He had to have a knee replacement at 36 years old, dude.
Wow.
I was reading, he was like, I was having trouble keeping up with my kid because my knee was constantly swollen, so he got a knee replacement on that same leg that he broke. Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's awful.
So the kit that you're talking about, is it like it's the white one with like the orange 188 bet?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's crazy. Dude, 36? That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. It's bad. Yeah, and Johnny Evans still playing.
Yeah,
still
dude.
Playing.
The Northern Irishman. Yeah, dude, he's crazy. And it's crazy because he's part of United, and he was on the last United team that won with Ferguson. Like he was a baby.
Yeah, he's the one guy who actually knows what a title tastes like.
He's the one winner.
Everybody
else. Well, for United,
hey, things are turning around though.
Dude,
things are turning around.
Let's talk about it for a minute because Amrim, the hype is real. I'm gassed up. I'm loving this guy. I've just enjoyed. You know what it is? I think more than anything, I've just enjoyed watching United play. Like genuinely enjoyed it. Not watching them because they're my team, but like I look forward to watching them play because I'm like, oh, this is fun. Like we still make dumb mistakes and like whatever, but like this last game, at one point I think we had like 33 passes like completed, and I was like, oh my god, like I haven't seen this in forever. It's been
That's awesome.
10 years since I've seen this.
Did I send you the video of him where he sounds just like Gru from Despicable Me? He's like, guys, pass the ball. No. Pass the ball over here.
That's awesome.
Oh, I got to send it to you.
Yeah, but I like him. I think he's very charismatic in interviews. It seems like he is actually kind of logical with some of his team selection and rotating people in and out and not running people into the ground. So I've enjoyed it. But another thing I've enjoyed, I can't believe I'm about to say this out loud, is watching Liverpool, bro. It's crazy. The Madrid game, just so effortless. And
Dude,
then
nice.
City, okay, City is smelly. Pep is genuinely losing his mind. He's become Jose. Jose did the 5. Pep's doing the 6. They're capitulating.
His face into just,
dude. I
don't even know, dude.
Yeah, but I watched a podcast earlier, and he was saying that this is the moment where you can see how great Pep really is, because he's like, everybody always wants to give Pep his flowers and this and that, but he always has like spends the most money, has the best teams available, like he always has it, and like now that he doesn't have the best of the best, he's like exploding and like capitulating.
Yeah, I mean, you could see, dude, before the game started, he looked like he was gonna cry. Like I posted something on a story, it literally looked like he was about to cry before the game started. I was like, you have to be stronger than this.
It's crazy.
It's you've done this like a million times, dude. Like just because it's not going your way, like you have.
He's the kid that's always won, so now that he's losing, he like doesn't know how to handle it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's like always been like, "Oh, you're the best of the best," blah blah. So now that he's not, he's like, oh, like freaking out. But give it to Slot. He's turning Liverpool around with basically Klopp's team. He didn't really put any money. What, you bought Chiesa? But he's barely played, I think.
Yeah, he hasn't played. Yeah, if there's a team like second to a fully fit City, like that you would like to inherit, that it'd probably be Liverpool. I would say. Yeah.
But they look good. They're fun to watch right now too. They're crazy. But to sweep up Madrid and City within like 4 days of each other is crazy.
Yeah. The two teams that all have given us trouble for like the past freaking like 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, man.
Like the two biggest teams to just like we never get a win, and Slot's just like, yeah, whatever. Like,
dude, it could be your year. This is your year.
Don't say nope. I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna say maybe.
Okay, as a Liverpool fan, would it be bittersweet if you won with like the first year Klopp is gone? Or would you be like, I don't give a shit?
A little bit.
Okay.
No, for real. Because I think the way Liverpool operates is like you almost have to do so much to achieve like a legendary status. Like Klopp kind of came in 2015. Like he really kind of changed everything around, got the gegenpressing, the rock and roll football, like made everybody into a workhorse. Salamane, Firmino, like all those guys work. And so, like, I feel like he had so much goodwill, and we were so hopeful because we hadn't had a title in so long. And so this season actually reminds me of the 2019-2020 season when we were I don't think we lost a game for a really long time. And eventually we ended up losing to Watford. And
is that the 98 or 99 season? We got like 99 points, but City got one more. And we're
No. This was where we actually won the title, but everybody says it has an asterisk around it because it was the COVID year. So we were so far ahead.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened and everything shut down. And we were like, are we going to go back to playing these games? And should we just give Liverpool the title? And everybody's like giving us crap saying there should be an asterisk around it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, please, no pandemic like this time, because that's literally what derailed us last time. That and freaking Troy Deeney, Fat Drake over at Watford, because those guys were the first team to beat us like 3-0.
Yeah, no, the thing I said with Klopp is like, it's one of those, there's like a saying I heard one time, and it basically said like, good men will plant trees that they'll never get to sit under the shade. And that's kind of like how I feel with Klopp. Like he built all of this and like put all the tools there, like has all the best materials, everything's there. He's like built this house, and he's like, it's not for me, it's for somebody else. Right. So it's kind of like, damn.
Yeah, it's just the two things happened at once. It's like you said, it's like he planted the seeds, and also City just drove off a cliff, and so those two things are happening.
Yeah, that's crazy. My jersey pick for the week today is the Tottenham Hotspur home kit 07-08. It is the all-white Puma kit, and it's their 125-year kit. So all-white mansion sponsor. It's got the Spurs logo with like 125. But the cool thing I like on that jersey is there's like some details where like it's like diagonal, right? It's like diagonal lines everywhere, and it says like Tottenham Hotspur, and it has the year of the club, and then it says 125 years like all over it, but it's white on white. So it's like super, super small detail, but if you look at it up close, it's a cool detail. But I just always remember Berbatov wearing it. And like this is like when like super silky Berbatov was like coming on the scene. Everybody was in love with it right before he came to United. So that's probably one of the few Puma kits I will ever like and pick on this show. But
that's a good one to pick. Is this before Adebayor went over there from Arsenal and Defoe? And
I think so. I think that was post Berbatov.
Yeah. Okay.
And before Harry Kane. But yeah.
Okay.
Just a cool kit. Thought it was interesting. Thought it was something different. I don't think we've picked a Spurs kit yet, so shout out to Spurs.
Shout out Spurs.
All right, man. So let's get into this episode today. We've seen some leaks, official, unofficial. We've got some news because at the time of this recording, it is Cyber Monday still for another, what is that, 2.5 hours? Mm-hmm. So there's some deals that have gone on. Let's talk about that first. Post-holiday, Black Friday through Cyber Monday. Colby, what were the deals you kind of saw? Did you pick anything up? Did you find anything that you were like, dude, this is a deal? Like you may not have got it, but you were just like, holy cow.
Yeah. I don't know if I think this was mentioned in the group, but I'm not sure if vapors aren't selling or they have a really big abundance of them, but it seems like you can still get a lot of them, and right now you can get them for good sales. Like that OG colorway, the blue blueprint, not the blueprint, the blueprint pack. Yeah, you can still get a few of those. I know they had some good sales on the new like neon pair. There's some turfs that are like less than half off for Nike that I grabbed, or maybe it was I got it for exactly half off with like that and like a $10 off coupon. So yeah, there's been a lot of good Nike sales that I've seen.
Yeah, Ricky sent me one this morning and I almost pulled it, and I don't want to get into it this episode because we're going to talk about it on the next episode once I have them in hand. But I ended up deviating purchases. But Ricky sent me one from Soccer and Rugby, and it was the brand new MDS Superfly for like $175. That's crazy. That's $120 off a brand new boot.
Yeah, what do you think that is? Are they overstocked? Are they not selling as well as they have in previous years? Like, what's going on? Like,
Probably
why can they
both.
offer those kinds of?
Probably both.
Yeah, it's
I think.
strange.
I mean, you got to think. Right now, we have the blueprint. Not the blueprint. I'm sorry. The blue. What was that pack called? Mad Ambition. Is that one?
Something.
Okay,
yeah.
so the all blue pack. Okay, we got that one. We've got the electric green pack. We've got 2 sets of cosmic speeds. We've got the MDSs. That's
MDS9.
That's like technically, and then you got the blackouts that you can usually find. And then on the odd, sizing, you can find the blueprint, which was like the OG, teaser colorway. That's like between 5 to 8 colorways, and that's just colorways. Then you got to double that for Superfly Vapor. So that's
right.
That's like what, 16 possibly boots. Yeah, and you can't really find those Olympics ones, the cheetah ones. You can't find those. But that's a lot to try to keep in, and then try to sell. And especially at the elevated prices that things are at. It's Christmas time. I know you're a dad and trying to buy your kids and your wife stuff. I'm doing the same thing. So it's like boots are not at the top of my priority list right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Interesting thought on that. It's just too many colorways, and they've got to get this stock off the shelves before
they've got to move it. Yeah, exactly. And this is a great time, but it's like, again, I've seen Tiempo Legend 10s right now for like in between 120 on the low end to like 160 on the high. I've seen those the blue, the blue ones that I like right now. That same blue pack. Well, I don't remember what they're called.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
the blue ones I found for like 136. I found emeralds for 140. Yeah. I've seen GX2s in the launch colorway go for. I saw them for 140 the other day. So Nike is like really, really, really pushing out product, or maybe some of these other brands are. And again, I don't know. I don't know if it's people just don't really like these boots. I don't know if it's people are kind of like, oh, they're kind of samey. I don't know what is going on right now, but it looks like Nike got a lot higher discounts than a lot of the other brands.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's some other ones I saw. Trying to remember. There's a lot of good jerseys on sale.
Yes.
I wouldn't normally do this, but I pulled the trigger on a USA jersey. I
Gross.
know, like, you're not the biggest fan.
Gross.
Yeah, but it was like one of those $95. Not the authentic version, but what do they call it?
Not the replica.
Replica kit for like $20-something. Like, I think it was like $28.
Oh, that's
like,
great.
I have to buy this.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to just get one. You're like, that's cheap. It's a T-shirt.
Yeah, I can wear it to piss you off.
Yeah, you definitely can. No, yeah, I've seen some good deals. I know that I think it was Soccer Pro had a lot of jerseys going for like $50. Let's see who else had some. Soccer Village had some good deals on jerseys. So yeah, I mean, if you just Google anything, you can find it. The one deal, okay, I gotta come clean. There was one deal that I missed. Just I put it in the cart and I just missed out on it, and I shouldn't have. Was I almost got the New Balance Tequila V4 Plus in the gray day, and it was on soccer.com for like 110.
Dang.
I know, and I should have pulled the trigger.
Crazy.
I should have pulled the trigger, but I didn't. And then I moved it, and then when I went back, now they only have size 8, and I need an 8.5. But the Furon, you can get the Furon on there, or We Got Soccer in the Gray Day pack for like $90. The 442 on We Got Soccer was going for, I think, like $50.
Jeez.
Which these are steals, man.
Yeah.
I think one of the best deals I did come across was. It was the Doorbuster deal for We Got Soccer on Black Friday. It was buy one boot, get a second boot free. Any price. And I almost took advantage of it, but I just bought those F50 Pluses, and I was like, shit, now I fucked up. But so I didn't take advantage of that one, but I thought that was a crazy good deal. It was only there for like an hour or two. But that's a crazy good deal.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks that, like, for one, we have to stay on top of, like, the new releases. So you and I have to kind of buy things on time.
Yes.
But if we were people that were patient and could wait, and topics didn't matter so much,
and like I said, this is the time to take advantage, like, honestly, of brands like New Balance, Puma, some of the smaller ones. Like, I even saw some Mizuno boots on sale. I think you can only really get them through soccer.com. So it wasn't crazy deals, but like $200, I think, for an MIJ is beyond reasonable, especially for that. But I tell people, like, this is a time that is good to stock up on boots, and if you want to try boots. Like, you can get the Puma Future 7 right now. I want to say, I think it's like in the $100-ish range. And for $100, like, that boot's not that bad. You know? Full price, I think it's not worth it at all in the slightest bit. But at $100, like, as a spare pair, training pair, not just to blow through, it's not bad. All those New Balance boots, those are all great boots.
Yeah, all New Balance and product.
And for
incredible.
$100, man, those are steal. Those are genuine steals.
Yeah. I mean, it's the best time of the year to buy boots.
It really is. And kids' boots, like even on Unisport, I almost got my oldest another pair of tongued Preds, and the current ones, like $110. It's just crazy, hard to pass that up.
Dude, you mentioned the Puma Futures.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We saw Cucurella wearing the leaked version of the next generation Future. Now, we've talked a lot on this podcast, Justin, about what can Puma do to save this silo. Looking at these photos, do you think that there's going to be enough changes to the boot to give people a piqued interest and to kind of turn the ship around, per se?
No. Talk about a court case, just like lean into the mic. No, I mean, it's hard to see on basically an all white boot it had like random pink spots.
Yeah, it had like a pink and a 3,
which that's going to be like that pink spot on the forefoot is going to be the technology spot. You know what I mean? Like that's going to be the area that they push, and you can already tell. But that's
the new power tape.
Yes, exactly. From what I can tell, the boot doesn't really look too radically different. Now we don't know, because the Puma Ultra 5 compared to the Puma Ultra Ultimate is like night and day, and everybody's loving the Ultra 5 and they all hated the Ultra Ultimate. So maybe Puma has shaken it up enough, but from the silhouette that I can tell, it kind of just looks more or less the same.
Yeah, it looks the same. The laces are I don't know. I'm not a fan of this where Puma like really spreads those laces out and they do it really weird where it's kind of at an angle. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I'm not sure if that's just a stylistic choice. I don't know if that comes from like the net fit days of like you can kind of put them where you want to, but I'm just hoping on this version that the studs are changed. Honestly, like I hopefully like the uppers a little bit like softer and more like of a knit feel. I'd be happy if they went back to like a knit version of these boots. But yeah, honestly, dude, I'm just hoping for some half conicals and some less aggression from these. And then I'll pick them up in 6 months when they're cheap.
I would say if that's what you're hoping for, that's not going to happen.
Right?
So, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to hold my breath that these are going to blow me away and all of a sudden I'm become a Puma guy. But they don't look like they don't look the worst.
Right. Yeah, honestly, I do like the design style choice. I thought the oh gosh, dude, whatever version we're on right now, the current Ultimate, I thought the design was kind of lame. Like the power tape going into a Y shape over the laces. So this I think aesthetically looks a lot better.
The future, the current future?
Yeah, the current future.
Okay, sorry. I just want to make sure I'm thinking right.
Yeah, I know. It gets confusing because the future before this future had the squiggly line power tape on the sides, like two squiggly lines.
Yeah.
This is just one Y.
That's the question. That's the question right there. Why? Why do these exist? Why was this made in this manner?
Right. Well, more leaks, man. We also saw Kaká rocking some Champagne made in Germany remakes over the break.
Conveniently timed with the upcoming what is it? Adidas Predator Elite FT FG whatever 25. Yeah, so the new colorway that we know is coming out in a couple hours. It comes out the 3rd. So they'll already be released by the time this podcast goes live. It looks very Champagne/Lunar Mania inspired. The MIG thing, it's hard because I think that people are clamoring for those old colorways of the Manias. The problem is, A, the price and releasing it with the new Pred at the same time, and B, I think a lot of people, once they actually got the MIG, myself included, were kind of let down in a way. Like, they don't feel as premium or as luxurious as we were kind of hoping or led to believe. And so I'm worried that the fatigue is already there with the MIG mania. What do you think?
Yeah. No, it is interesting because, at first it's such a special. I'm trying to remember what the first colorway was. I think the pearl came out second, but
there's the pearl and the Japan blue, then the black, and now the mania.
Now this. And so at this point, it's like, exactly what you're going to get. Like, when I saw those, I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then we got a closer look, and you could see the made in Germany over the tongue. And I'm just like, all right. So now we know, and I'm way less interested. Because we already know, like you said, people that have gotten their hands on the MIG and words kind of spread. It's like, it's just another reskinned model of the same thing that we were kind of okay with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and they've kind of had this ebb and flow where I always call it like the year of. So like for a while they did like the year of the accelerator. Remember, we were getting all those remakes of the accelerator, and they're like pushing accelerators, and then they were kind of like, oh, here's the absolute, and now you're gonna have a couple absolutes, and now it's like, oh, here's a couple of pulses, and now they've gone back to the mania, and they're like, here's the mania in, Japan blue. Everybody loved the 2022 one. Here's one. And it's like, oh, you guys also like the classic black, white, red. That's what y'all always ask for. Here's that one. And they're like, here's this crazy white one. And the problem is that the pearl was its own thing. That never existed really. Mm-hmm. But with the champagne it's kind of like, they're kind of samey. You know what I mean? Like, they're not too far apart. And we've already heard rumors that the red ones are going to come out. Mm-hmm. So it's like we keep getting these. And again, the champagne mania is iconic. Like, that is pinnacle Becks, I would say, in a lot of people's minds. But I think a lot of people are also like, why aren't you doing the gunmetal? Like, a lot of people have wanted a gunmetal one. Why is that one not happening? Like, I don't know. I just think that the MIG thing's kind of died at this point. I think a lot of people are disinterested. And like somebody like yourself who, 7-8 podcast episodes ago was stoked for a champagne mania. And, you saw my review. I talked to you about it, and you're kind of like, it was like you reminded me of like one of those pictures, like somebody's really happy, and then they hear something, it goes down, and it goes down, and it goes down, and then finally they're just like, and that's like how you were since the whole MIG thing has come around.
Right, and it's kind of like, all right, we talk about this all the time, but it's like, how long can we keep milking this same cow? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. How many times are people gonna just get suckered in and keep buying these things? And I'll be honest, man. Yeah, I was disappointed, and I'm so happy we got a Beckham Fusion skin release, because that kind of filled that void that I was feeling for a champagne remake. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, all right, well, at what point are you going to stop these? Like, are we like you said, they're going to have an all red one? Like, are we going to eventually, like, what's the end point? The end of 2024? Like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just very, very odd. It's weird that they keep pushing it, but again, like, these things have probably been in production and talked about and can't conceptualize 2-3 years ago. So It's kind of like, it's kind of too hard to pump the brakes. But I'm hoping maybe with the red one, it'll kind of complete like the Thanos gauntlet of all the colorways, and they'll kind of take a break from the Mania, because the Mania is a fantastic boot. Everybody heaps praises on it, but I think it's kind of like, okay, it's run its course again. Let it just like chill out for a while and kind of go move on to something else. Like, there's plenty of other preds that we can move on to now.
Yeah. Interestingly, Justin, is I think for somebody like myself who never really owned a pair, or certainly didn't own a pair of classic fold-over tongue preds with the strap, I think that Adidas has successfully this year, like, that's the version I want now. Mm-hmm. Like, when this year started, I was like, I don't really care about fold-over, because my fold-over tongues to me are like the the Velcro Premier 3, Premier 2, like old school Tiempo. Yep. It's just like, I've had that. I'm not unnecessary. The Puma King tops or the old Mizunos. I'm like, I don't. But there's just something different about like a pred tongue, man.
Do you want to know what it is? I'm going to show you right now, because I've got the Roteros right here. This is what changed your opinion, right? So you have the tongue, and then this small piece of elastic that goes around. Mm-hmm. That's it. This is the magic right here. This is what made you change your mind. Because I guarantee you, if you got one of those, like if you had the Nike Toddy pairs, there's the black one with the Velcro tongue, and then they did the gold ones with the elastic tongue. Even though they're gold and very, very out there, I guarantee you, just feel-wise, you would always gravitate towards the 6 with the elastic tongue. Because there's something about an elastic tongue,
something about it, like the snapping on the sole plate. It just feels so good. But it's just so interesting because I had the Pearl in like the regular version. I was like, oh, these are really good. These are really good. And now that I'm looking at this version of the 25, and of course we just had the Premier League weekend, and all the professional players are wearing the launch colorway, and it just looks good. And now when I see a tongueless Predator, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
That's what I try to tell you. It's weird. It's
weird.
It's so weird. And it's like I wore the regular tongue Preds, like the Instinct, the Addy Powers. Like none of those had fold over tongues anymore. That they had gone by that point. But there's something about that flappy fold over tongue with an elastic. I don't know what it is because I'm like you. Like even on my precision remakes, I don't love those because they have that stupid Velcro tongue. I want an elastic strap.
You know what's weird is like that's the complete opposite of how I felt when they went from Tiempo 3 to Tiempo 4. I was like, oh, thank God you've modernized this boot, because it was just looking so old next to its competition.
Yeah.
But here it's like, no, I want it. Like it looks better aesthetically. Like I doubt it performs any differently, but hey, like
exactly,
you feel good, play good.
I'm with you.
Look good, play good.
It's like the same thing with the Gloro. Like I think that the Gloro aesthetically looks better with that shield style elastic tongue than I do the Premier with the regular like flappy tongue with the Velcro. Like I don't like it.
Yeah, but it's weird because like they'll try to do all of these like lace, I don't even know what you call it, concealing type things. Like they've had like the dynamic bit collars and like the Phantom Venoms where it's like kind of pushed over to the side, or like the old school F50s. But this, I think, just does it like the absolute best. I don't know. It's weird. Like I don't know what it is about this. Maybe it's the elastic strap, like you say, but
I'm telling you, it's what it is. It's like whenever here's another fun analogy for you. Sometimes when you're cooking or grilling or making whatever, and the recipe calls for something just like totally out there, and you're like, what the hell? It's like, you're making mac and cheese, you're adding this, you're adding that. And it's like, put a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. You're like, Dijon? Like, what the hell? But the recipe clearly knows what it's doing, so you put that in there, and then bam, that's the secret sauce. That's the thing you didn't know you needed that pulled this recipe and made it like from a 9.5 to a solid 10. That's what the elastic tongue is. The elastic band tongue is the Dijon mustard.
Dude.
And I don't like mustard, but it's just the thing. It's like, it's the cherry. It's the cherry on top of the sundae.
Just makes it so much nicer.
Yeah. And it's crazy because like you are adding bulk. Like, this is all the kind of stuff we talk about. Like it goes against the grain on everything we as modern players think, believe, and all the marketing has told us. But we don't care. Yeah.
But we don't care.
Like think about it. Think about how much like thinner that boot overall would feel if you didn't have that tongue.
I know, dude. I know how much thinner it would be with a synthetic Hybrid Touch 2.0 with no tongue. Like it honestly, like it feels more streamlined, but this is just cozy. It's nice.
It's
I can't.
Just different.
It's just better. It's just
dude.
better.
That's what I'm saying. See, that's what getting older is. You realize that the minivan is more comfortable than the SUV.
Yeah, there you go. It's more functional.
We wrapped it back around. So we know that the Predator's coming out tomorrow. I'm stoked. We might do an emergency podcast. We'll see. We don't know yet. We'll see what our schedule allows to talk about it, show it off.
That'll be fun.
The boot that I want to talk about, that unlike the Rolls Royce that is your David Beckham Predators or the new Predators that we both are in love with, I want to talk about this doo-doo butter looking Copa 3. Because we saw the new Copa Pure in the leaked colorway.
Oh,
you're gonna throw it on screen. It reminds me of, you remember that initial Icon colorway where it was all white with the gold stripes. But Colby, I'm gonna have to be honest with you, man. I saw those pictures, and my only thought is, what the hell is this?
I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know, man. It's ugly. It's an ugly looking boot, man.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't like it. Okay, this could perform better. Like it looks like. It could be completely fusion skin. Like the. I mean, obviously, it's probably going to be completely fusion skin. It's going to be calfskin leather, I'm sure, and it's probably going to be super soft. But if it doesn't look like something I want to put on my feet, like what good is all of these like really awesome, like comfortable things? It's got a looks like a knit tongue now. Like a good lace hole system. Looks like you have an extra lace hole here.
Yep.
And I just don't understand. Like the lockdown's probably going to be way better. The heel looks way better. It's just the boot as a whole looks really ugly, and I don't know what it is.
And I think it might be, for me personally, I think it might be those weird, I call them like the wannabe F50 lines on the toe box that kind of like come up and around the side and then around the stripes. They just look very oddly placed because I can't really see like the leather pattern. Like, say we want about the Copa 19 and 20 being like the Michelin Man look, or the first Copa Pure being like essentially the same thing, but it had all the opposite lines. But I can't really see what the design of the leather is because those lines kind of take away from it and they look like they go the opposite way. So it's just, this boot's just really, really weird looking. And I'm hoping maybe with a different colorway it'll look better. Yeah.
Do you remember, was it the Copa Sense where there were no Adidas stripes on the boot, but the Adidas stripes were like on the back of the heel? Like it was like the 3 line. I believe that's the one. And so it looked really clean. It had a really clean look to it. I think
Copa
they
Sense.
should have gone
On the Copa Sense, right?
Copa Sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Copa Sense. Or was it Sense? Or
Yeah, it's the Sense.
Whichever one. Sense. Okay. Yeah, Copa Sense. And it just looked really clean.
Yeah.
That's what they should have done here.
I feel like this is a boot that less is more, and they did more, and now it looks less. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly.
It looks too busy for the style of boot that it is.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they should have really backed off here. Or, no, putting a trefoil on the side of a boot probably looks bad.
No, yeah. I think if, because I'm looking at the boot now, I think if they would have just got rid of those weird blue squiggly lines, this would look, honestly, genuinely a ton better.
Yeah, I
because
think so, too.
We saw that one colorway. What was the other colorway we saw? And it's supposed to come out with like the white and the red stripes
that one looked
and
really
the black.
good.
That one looks phenomenal. So again, I'm hoping that maybe this teaser launch one is just kind of like, I'm sure it'll have some story and we'll be like, okay, whatever, we don't care. But
the golden touch.
Yeah, something dumb. But I'm hoping that maybe it's just this one boot has that graphic and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, you know what's so frustrating about the current Copa from the Adidas line is literally, okay, we're this is coming full circle because we're talking about how these Nike boots aren't selling. We don't know that they're not selling, but they sure are having really big discounts, and there sure is a lot of inventory hanging out. The Copa line of Adidas is just, they can put whatever they want out now because they're like they're the only big brand of the big 3 to actually put out leather. So it's like, I hate the way this boot looks, but it's the only one that's actually using leather.
Yeah.
And so, like, Nike could easily just eat Adidas lunch, like they did in years past with, like, all their Tiempos. Like, if they had just kept the leather, even if they kept, like, premium calf leather or something, like they would be eating their lunch right now. I don't know, like Adidas, it's one of those, like, how could they keep getting away with it? They can get away with it because there's no competition in this area unless you're looking at like a brand from Japan. It's just it's frustrating.
I mean, yeah, kind of the way that I look at it is like, you can be the fastest man in the world when nobody else in the world has legs.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And
exactly.
that's kind of where I'm at with this coat, because it's, again, the problem that I feel like a lot of people go into is like, if you want leather, you have to jump through more hoops to get a good leather product. So like Mizuno, you're basically paying 50% higher. And a lot of people are like, that's a lot of money. Okay. Asics, you either got to know somebody like Tokyo Football that can get them imported into you, or you got to go through eBay and try to figure that out. And it's like, oh, you bought the wrong size? Sorry, you're out of luck. Like, buy another pair, get the right size.
Been there.
So it's like you have those, and then it's like the New Balance 442, the Nike Premier. They're kind of, I would say, like a step below, kind of like they're more like in the budget Gloro range. So it's like, oh yeah, you know, to an extent these might be better, but the performance isn't there. They've cut costs on a lot of materials. So the Copa Pure is kind of like in its own realm, And again, it's the fastest man in the world when nobody else has legs. You know, you could run a 45-minute mile, but when nobody else can beat that time, that you're the fastest person. And that's where the Copa is. It's like, oh, it's $200 ish, but it's leather.
Yeah.
And everybody's like,
you
well,
wouldn't buy them all.
Yeah, I guess I gotta buy that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it sucks because it's like, oh, the Copa Pure 2 was not great, and you had a bunch of time. You had a lot of time and literally no competition, and that's what you came out with. And like you said, the white, red, and black ones that we had leaked previously looked really cool.
Yep.
So hopefully this is just like a one-off colorway.
Let's hope so. I think it might be. We're going to cross our fingers, and we're going to pray to whatever gods we believe in out there that this is the only one that's that way. Because it kind of looks like, to me, this reminds me of like that meme where it's like, hey, I want this, but we got it at home, whatever. Like that weird pattern is like, hey, I want the F50 pattern. It's like, oh, we got F50 pattern at home. It's like somebody's sad attempt at like, oh, yeah, that's what the F50 looks like.
Yeah.
And like, throw it on a boot.
Yeah, put it on the Copa. Nobody will say anything.
So again, I don't want to harp it too much, but this colorway, it ain't it. It ain't it, Chief.
Oh man, how do you screw up white and gold, Justin? How do you blow that? I don't know how they did that.
We'll have to ask somebody out there. We're gonna find this Adidas guy and be like, what were you thinking?
What? Come on,
genuinely, what were you thinking? All right. So we've kind of run through the topics. Again, got some surprises on the horizon. There will be fun things coming to display next week. Colby, what did you want to ask this week? What do you want to talk about?
We had talked about Black Friday deals. We talked a lot about Black Friday deals. I want, this is actually, it's not really a topic. It's just for our community. If you guys had a great Black Friday deal that you got, would you please comment and let us know? So we can maybe look at the best one and shout you out on the next podcast. Yeah,
that would be awesome. Let us know where you got it, what you paid, all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's holiday time, so it's going to be a little busier for everybody and for us. But we are going to try to stay consistent, as usual. All right, Colby, tell the people where they can find you in your new David Beckham videos.
You guys can find me at Kicked With Colbs on Instagram and on YouTube.
You can find me at Texas Cleat Collector on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can find the shows on Instagram at bootcastpod. And as always, if you like what you've seen, go down, hit comment, let us know those deals. Just talk to us. We love talking to you guys. Smash like, smash subscribe, turn the bell on, whatever the kids are saying these days. And until the next episode, guys, we'll see y'all then.
See you guys.